And thank you very much for joining us. I am Iori Folari. Okay, sort of big news yesterday, if you want to look at it as that, talking about one of the political parties, Labour Party. It has announced the suspension of Governor Alex Otti, the only governor of Labour Party, Senators Nwokocha, Ireti, Kingibe, and others. We'll get to that. It does look like a crisis, but it needs to be said that shortly before that, Senator Nandi Usman had actually set up a panel and was also in a separate press conference, had said that, Julius Abure was guilty of indiscipline and that he should desist from referring to himself as the national chairman of the party. So there are all sorts of things, but we'll sort of try to get to the bottom of it, and we'll also hear commentary from people. Our guest this morning, well, we have from Labour Party, Mr. Abayomi Arabambi. He's the publicity secretary of Labour Party. I don't know if I should add a faction to that and say that this is either Nenadi Usman Caretaker Committee faction or the Julius Abure faction. In any case, we're grateful to have with us Mr. Abayomi Arabambi, Publicity Secretary of LP. Good morning to you, sir. And in studio here, in studio here, we have Mr. Sonny Adenuga. Mr. Sonny Adenuga is also a politician, but he is chairman, national chairman, no factions yet, I believe, of Boot Party. Boot being because of our Tomorrow Party. Good morning to you, Mr. Adenuga.
Good morning to Nigeria.
So, any factions?
No, not faction. We're so disciplined.
That statement has implications. Well, thank you very much for coming. We're seeing you, live because you must be working on a project. Normally, you're based in the UK, even though you're very, very frequently in the country from time to time.
Thank you, sir. Yeah,
okay.
That's true.
So, Mr. Arabambi, do we have a connection with Mr. Arabambi yet? Because okay, we're trying to set up Mr. Arabambi, who, as I said, is the publicity secretary in LP. I think it's only fair that we should be hearing from him to sort of set the ground, what is going on. There are these accusations of, well, I just saw Mr. Abayomi Arabambi. Good morning to you, sir.
I am here. I'm here. Yeah, good afternoon. Good morning. Thank you for having me today.
Our pleasure. There seems to be a bit of boisterousness in Labour Party. Is the situation confused?
Thank you very much. Can I respond now?
Please. Please, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I need to lay the foundation about what happens, between Labour Party and those I will refer to as political insurgents. In the build-up to 2023, because I need to make it known to Nigerians.
Before you continue, sir, which faction would you sort of say you represent? Is it the Julius Abure faction or the Nenadi Usman faction?
We have only one national body of the party, and that is where I represent. I just make reference to the other side as political insurgents. People that want to take over what does not belong to them. These are the people referred to as political insurgents. And I'm going to lay my background, to be able to prove this my case. Now, in the build-up to 2023 election, when Peter Obi came into the party, because this is actually what has been going around within our party, and we didn't just want to make noise about it, but it is open to Nigeria now. We have to, let Nigeria know exactly what is happening between us. In the build-up to 2023 election, Peter Obi came and told the chairman, Julius Abure, he asked some people that want to work with him, and that he should give him that free hand. The chairman trusted him and allowed him. In that vein, two people were brought on board. Aisha Yesufu and Pastor Itwa Igodalo. They were the one that was not doing the job of the party, because that was what Obi said he trusted them to do. And we didn't want to rock anybody. Though we in the NWC, we protested that no, a new person cannot just come to the party. I will now be dishing out instruction to us. We allowed them to be, but do you know what they did? They failed to upload 54,000 polling unit agents for Labour Party. That means we have failed in 54,000 out of 189,000. The remaining, where we have agents, they were not paid. If you Google it, Oshutokun, the Zeni Labour Party man who was on loan to Labour Party, by this same Obi, who also attests to that. Number two, they went and opened 4 accounts in Global, Zenith, Fidelity, and one other bank. If they say went to meet the chairman and secretary, please give us letter. We want to open a campaign account. I am not telling Nigerians what they did. They have opened that account before they came. It was when they could not withdraw money, they now came back to the party. They gave them Peter Obidati Labour Party President Campaign Organization, the campaign council. When they opened the account, they changed it to Obidati campaign account. And that I will still call on the FCC to look into that fact. Because if a party gave you a note, a letter of authority, and you decide to change the name of that letter, that person is corrupt, and even everybody that was involved. Number 3, immediately after the election, they knew they were prepared to lose, but they now shifted their attention to the judiciary, to the president.
It's all right. We can still see you. We can still see and hear you.
Yeah, they shifted the attention to the judiciary during the proceeding in the court. They were calling the Chief Justice, they were calling even the President-elect, they were accusing INEC. We tried to rein them in that, no, this is not what happened. Let us just prepare for 2027. We have lost this one. Because how do you explain a party that did not have agent in 54,000 polling units, only for you to now be accusing the President-elect that time, that you rigged the election that you won? How can you win an election where you have failed to have form issuance results in 54,000 polling units? As I speak, I have the certified copy of all proceedings in the Court of Appeal. That's the first of court instance. I have the CTC of what transpired in the Supreme Court. Do you know that our lawyers, whom Obi claim he paid 700 million to, they filed a petition knowing fully well you have to file a petition within 21 days, and things that will accompany your petition are: 1, your result sheet; 2, the witness written statement on oath. All this did not accompany that petition. And that was why, if you understand the record, there was a time they had them to come and pay 1.5 million to INEC for CTC. How can you now be blaming INEC? How can you be blaming the APC? How can you be blaming President Bola Ahmed Tinubu or Atiku or other, political gladiators, that they were the one that causes your failure? That answer is capital no. Now, this is what is happening. They want to cover that corrupt track between themselves. They didn't want Nigeria to know, and that's why I am opening up to tell Nigeria now that Peter Obi and Otti, they rigged Labour Party out of 23 general election. Nobody rigged Labour. INEC did not rig Labour Party. APC was not involved in the rigging, but rather, because of their pecuniary interest, they were the ones that rigged Labour Party out by themselves. Because where you fail to account for vote in 54,000 polling units, the person should know he has failed woefully. That was when they approached the party. How do we now, continue with that tempo? To now be lying to Nigerians that INEC rigged the election. To now be lying to Nigerians that the president, corrupted the system. That was the departure point. That was where we disagree with them that no, let us tell Nigerians the truth. And I'm telling Nigerians the truth. I challenge Levy and SCN to come and counter what I said, that we did not go to court with the result sheet. They were bringing them after, and even the court was, very, very gracious to accept that. I want to tell you that Supreme Court really helped Labour Party. Let me tell Nigerians that judgment that says issue of membership is now issue of internal affairs of the political party during the president election. They used it to help us because none of them were a member. They did not participate in our primary other than Peter Obi. Every other person, all those reps you are seeing, they came in via substitution, which INEC refuses until when we go to court. It was even the agency and even the Chief Justice of Nigeria that actually helped Labour Party there because all of them would have gone back to their village. So to come back to this crisis, all they wanted was that let us uproot Aburi and put ourselves there for two things. One, they needed somewhere a platform that they will present to the National Committee as a political party, but not, it's not a political party. They want to use it to leverage war against the federal government of Nigeria so that they can use that one to remove the president. They want to force him to resign, and they want to abort democracy. I have two issues on that. One, inside the hotel where they did their Yam Festival the last time, everybody had, when Dati Ahmed was saying this administration is illegitimate, we disagree with that.
Okay.
This administration is legitimate. All we are asking them to do is that let us go and prepare ourselves for 2027. Because if we are unable to present 179,000 polling unit agents, and what we can only present is 129,000, whose fault, for God's sake? And when INEC and the court rejected our result in those 54,000 polling units, it is simply issue of law because the person that signed was not there. I mean, there was nobody that Labour Party uploaded for all those polling units. Some people just signed, and you now took those results to the court, which the court rejected. This was the reason why you see them now chanting, oh, judiciary rigged. So Peter B has succeeded in getting, certain people who are not conversant with our electoral act, with the constitution, but they call themselves obedient to think Nigeria can be manipulated. And I am telling the whole world and the entire community that Labour Party, through the hand of Peter B, through the hand of Governor Otti, through the hand of Aisha Yesufu, and through the hand of Pastor Itwa Gadolo, they were the ones that colluded together to rig Labour Party out of 2023 election. It wasn't the business of the party. It wasn't the business of the national leadership. They were the ones that did this thing on their own.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. The panel, the Nenadi Usman faction, as it is described, says that she set up a panel. It was chaired by Senator Kingibe, and she has accused Abure of persistently parading himself as the national chairman of LP despite being expressly removed by the Supreme Court. What's your commentary on that?
We do not know. You see, we have challenged them several times. They have a lawyer that formulated 3 issues for them before the Supreme Court. Whether the pronouncement of leadership is justiciable or not. They went to court, and the court said, wherever a court made pronouncement, they set it aside. That it is not justiciable. Go back to your party.
Okay.
It's also happening in PDP now, where issue of Anyanwu and Ude, the court didn't determine who is their national secretary. They have decided to convene NEC, which is what we are also supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But rather, they were doing their Yam Festival with palm oil, enjoying themselves. And they were constrained that to be our NEC meeting. Who called a NEC meeting in our constitution? The national secretary shall, in conjunction with the approval of the national chairman, convene a NEC meeting, and they shall give INEC 21 days. That is section 82.5. Section 82.1. Now, section 82.5 is very clear that failure to give notice to INEC shall render the outcome of such meeting invalid. Shall render it. This is a constitutional provision. Section 222 is also very clear. Parties, all political parties,
Also, Mr. Sonny Adenuga, national chairman of Boot Party, as a, as an interested, because he's a Nigerian. Every Nigerian is interested in this, and he himself, So let me ask you, what do you make of this? We're very fortunate to have Mr. Arabambi give us a general overview of the matter.
I think I would just want to say I really sympathize with the Labour Party because going through all of this is not first and foremost in their interest. I don't think neither Governor Otti, even Dr. Arabambi here, and everyone concerned in Labour Party, they're not going to be happy about this. However, that said, I know even whatever faction that actually suspended this, let's say, very good members of their party in court now, who are governor, assembly members. Now, it will have been a very difficult decision to make because personally, I will find it very, very, very hard. And I know also, listening to Dr. Arabambi and having read commentaries on this particular issue, it will have been very, very difficult. But again, it says a lot about the political system and for all that we practice in our country, Nigeria, and the way we present ourselves to those who are coming after us. For those who are acting today, they've seen those before them. We've seen the PDP of this world did it. Probably APC, it hasn't really happened much, but we've seen a lot of people migrated from APC going to join PDP before. Now it's happening now. The reverse engineering of the campaign. It's really a very sad time for not just only Labour Party, because if we care about democracy, it shouldn't just be about politics. And like he was saying, you have to make it clear that it's about law. The other time I called into the program some times ago that, look, there's difference between democracy and politics. Democracy is about our agreement. We have the constitution, we have the rules of the party, we have the laws of the country. And those are the things that comes together in addition to the people that makes democracy. But in everything human being does, you can find politics. In fact, there have been news, either true or false, that even the conclave going on in Rome, that because of so many divisions. Of course, it's normal, and that's politics. It's involved in everything, unless someone wants to be naive. But when we talk about democracy, it has to be by rule. And that is what is actually missing in our country. People usually just want to have things their own way, gentleman agreement. I mean, even in the Boot Party, it's just that we probably have been, maybe we have not been...
You've been lucky.
Yeah, well, I won't say, I will be mindful to use that word, because I will say, respectively, we are not yet successful like Labour Party. I don't know what's going to happen when we become like Labour Party. But however, one thing we've been able to do well as a political party is, and what we encourage other parties to do, is to make sure their policy, the constitution of their parties, are well thought through. Most of the biggest challenges that we find in political parties in Nigeria, even PDP and APC of this world, you read their constitution, you just ask yourself, who sat down and wrote these things? That's number one. Then number two, even with the flaws in some of these rules, the next thing that happens is that you find individuals in positions who are not willing to even obey the rules of the party or even ask questions beyond, ask a third party and say, what is this? What is your interpretation of these sections of the law? And so that they can interpret it. Because if you, Dr. Arabambi himself admitted that when 2023 was coming, that Peter Obi requested for some favor, let me put it that way, to some waivers. Yeah. And the question is this: why should you waive some of the provisions of your law for anybody? I will give you an example. Before 2023 general election, we had the same gesture.
That's where I'm not going to bringing in Aisha and
I'm not going to mention names.
Well, he did. He mentioned the names. Yeah. He put the names out there that. It's like, I think he was saying that Mr. Obi, requested a special dispensation. Yeah, but you see, I was going to say that before 2023 general election, we had the same gesture. And there is a provision of our constitution we are asked to remove. And we said, no, we can't remove it. Because there is a purpose why it's there, why it's in our constitution. So, but what we see, because political party tends to be desperate for success.
and they ignore some of the things that have been written down, and everybody keep doing things the way they like, and it shouldn't be. And that's what, because people just care about, oh, get the power first. Then when you get the power, you sort the whole issue. And forgetting that we're all humans, and then there is that thing. Even me that I'm talking now, it's easier to talk than write down. You know, when you write things down, it allows you to gather your thoughts, to look at a lot of things. But people do a gentleman approach.
Let me bring in Reverend Dominic, who has been holding on for quite a bit. Good morning, Reverend. Reverend Dominic, can you hear me? Okay, Reverend Dominic. Well, Reverend Dominic had called in, but I think there's something with the line he had called in. Well, in the meantime, Dr. Arabambi, so what is the situation within the party? These dramatic suspensions that have been announced, they stand?
Yes, by the grace of God, and we will soon be holding our convention where we are going to expel them back to where they are coming from. You see, there is reason for political party. First, you have your constitution to obey in line with section 222 of the 1999 constitution amended. But when you have people who have ulterior motive, we as Nigerians, I am 17-year-old in Labour Party now. We as Nigerians, we will not allow 2-year-old son or daughter to come and be telling his father that I know when they get back to you. That is what they are trying to do. The Nenedus man of this world, Peter Obi knew she was under bargaining, and yet they have the audacity to now be saying, oh, because of corruption. I saw her when she was reading out a press release, a press conference. No, because of corruption. Which corruption? She, as we speak, is still under investigation for 2.5 billion with EFCC. And I don't know why my brother there has not decided to prosecute her, even with all the property she forfeited. And let me also tell you, do you know that during the 2023 general election, this woman and that time took 1.8 billion of the party money from Aisha Ijesufu and Pastor Etwa Gadelo. You see, they were when we began to see why they pleaded for that, a request from the chairman. But the chairman trusted them. Abure was just a good man. If I'm the chairman, I wouldn't have allowed such, because you should know them. You should know them that is the trait of most political parties. I tell Nigerians, C.K. Igala was a state chairman when Otti came begging and kneeling down in that secretariat for Abure to give him that ticket. I repeat, C.K. Igala was in that secretariat in Abuja when Otti came. But you know what? Immediately he was sworn in. He insisted that he doesn't want C.K. Igala as the state chairman. Whom did he bring forward? His own brother, Emmanuel Otti. You see our political class. These are people shouting on Tinubu. There are people complaining about Nigerian government. He put his immediate brother there. Only for him to now insist that during that convention, let me tell you, his deputy governor was the chairman of that convention. He actually wanted his brother to now be national vice chairman, Southeast.
I hear you.
He's another brother to be national chairman, Southeast.
Okay. I get
so you see the way most of the people are pretending to be to Nigerian and what they want.
All right.
That is talking there.
Yes.
Of the 6, I'm coming. Let me expose something. Of the 6.5 million she was supposed to pay, she managed only 500,000. There are many in the Senate. Don't people pretend to be big men today who are saying Labour Party is not done that? A lot of concessions were made for them. Some of them pay as well as 500,000. How many of them can dare that in PDP or APC? 500,000 for Senate, but today they are millionaires. So they thought they could use that as an avenue to muscle out of that party. All of them will be expelled in a convention. So that let them now go to any party they want and pay 100,000 to become senator for their second tenure. It's not going to happen in the Labour Party. It's not going to happen. I will not allow anybody to wage war against the administration. Let us go to 2027. Let us go and challenge APC in 2027 and see whether Nigeria will trust us. And Nigeria said they don't want to trust us, we must congratulate the winner. That is what we are standing on. Nobody should come and drum a big drum of war. We don't want anybody to bring any form of divisive tendency into Nigeria. We are pro Nigeria. We are pro-democracy. Use our party to foment trouble, including Joadero, to call political insurrection in order for them to just overthrow democracy in Nigeria. Our party is not available for that.
Okay, one moment, please. Mr. George, thank you very much for holding on. Please go ahead now. I did hear that Mr. George, calling from Lagos, is on the line. Surely we're not going to lose him too. Can you hear us?
Hello, Uncle Yori, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, Uncle Yori, can you hear me? I cannot hear you.
I can hear you. I'm giving you the thumbs up. If you can see us.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning to you, Uncle Yori. Good morning to Mr. Denuga and Dr. Arabambi.
Okay, sir. Yes.
Uncle Yori, there is one thing about truth. You can kick it, but truth always comes back. The more you kick it, the more it returns.
Mm-hmm.
What Dr. Arabambi is saying here this morning is simply what has been happening. But my only concern is why did this group in the party, why did they keep quiet for this long, especially after the election, and they knew that this was what happened, and the party still went to court, up to the Supreme Court level. Even Mr. Abure himself was seen at the courts. If he knew that this was the truth of the matter, why didn't they speak out at that time and save the country the pains of going through that procedure that brought a lot of division and acrimony to the country? When you deserve something, nobody can take it away from you. The party, as it is now, only yesterday, Uncle Yori, we were talking about management of parties and why people are decamping to other parties.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter Obi is somebody that wants to rule Nigeria. But you can see from what his own party man is saying here, that he has not been able to even manage a political party. That political party is one of the smallest parties in Nigeria. If you cannot manage a party, how do you manage a country with 230 million people from 55 tribes and 520 languages? It is not just feasible. I am using this medium to appeal to Professor Pat Utomi. We have seen some of the things that group are doing, forming a shadow government. In the presidential system of government that Nigeria is practicing, there is nothing called a shadow government. You want to set up, it's like an insurrection, political insurrection. Opposition is what democracy requires, not insurrection. The government has a duty to resist insurrection and restore peace to our country. Anybody who wants to contest to become something is free to do so in the political structure that our constitution allows. But if you want to go out of that legal structure and you want to scuttle things, you want to bring insecurity and trouble to the country because you want to rule the country, we will not allow it, our constitution will not allow it, and the government should do everything to prevent it.
All right, then. So thank you very much, Mr. George. You added on a bit of another subject. Okay, before we continue, let's do a quick break. Our guest, Dr. Abayomi Arabambi, has said that there's no such thing as a faction, that the Labour is one, bloc, one united party. But hey, this is what is in there. The Julius Abure, to just paraphrase the matter very and sort of summarize it, he's being accused by Nenadi Usman's faction of corruption, anti-party activities. They haven't actually explained what the anti-party...
Nenadi cannot accuse Abure of corruption.
Okay.
Nenadi cannot accuse Abure of corruption. Nenadi, as we speak, is under pre-bargaining. She forfeited a lot of property to the federal government, even as Minister of State for Finance.
Okay.
That matter is still pending. It's still pending there. So she is the head mistress of corruption.
Okay, well, we have to be very... Dr. Arabambi, you know we have to be careful about what we say on air.
No, they accuse them of corruption.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that, it's in the public layer.
Okay, you are saying that a pot can't call a kettle black. What you are saying is that a pot cannot call a kettle black. I think that's what you're saying.
She was with the EFCC. I am not the one that took her to court. I am not the one that established before the federal court that she transferred 146 million from Ministry of Finance account to our account in 7 Kachiaros, Zenith Bank. We have all the facts. You see me? Before I will talk, public document, you go to court, you ask for the certified true copy, it will be given to you. Now, that my brother was talking about, Professor Batu told me, I said before that they have an ulterior motive. Most of the supporters, they are not happy for the fact that they lost the election by themselves because Patutomi was also part and parcel.
But Patutomi and co, they are not in Labour Party. It's an interesting subject.
It's a lie. My dear brother, they are with Peter Obi. See, we know those who are these marauders. We know them. Don't let them deceive you. It was because of this our noise.
Your language, you just call them marauders. You just call them marauders.
No, why is he contemplating a shadow government? Do you know what is that? That is a criminal act because you are now trying to leverage a war against a sitting administration in order to force that person out of office.
Okay.
Or to overthrow the administration.
That's the read. That's the read that you have of Patutomi's efforts. That's the read you have.
What is shadow government?
Well, they have argued that there is nothing in our constitution that expressly prevents it. Yeah. That's the way they argued it.
Okay, so now in our constitution, now when you have a democratically elected government, some other people, they will also now go and form their own shadow government and now be dictated to who under which constitution. Yeah. Is it 1999 constitution amended or constitution of 3,000 years ago as amended when we are still under the British rule? Let's get a fact clear. All of them, they want to use, they are looking for a platform for political installation. Their target is to overthrow President.
I'm going to come back to you. But let me quickly come to hear from your colleague in the studio, Mr. Adenuga, because now they've gone and brought this one into center stage. This Patutomi initiative. He's not the only one in there.
But I think what I would say to that is that, like you rightly said, Onkiyori, it's not expressly written in our constitution.
But we are a presidential system, are we not?
However,
has anybody heard of a presidential system with a shadow government?
Well, if you it's
a parliamentary. That's a parliamentary affair.
Before we use that word government, maybe they just want to. It's the buzzword out there. They just want to a fanciful way of saying things. The Boot Party, almost every party that is serious, should have an individual in each of the roles, like their ministry, so that they can give feedback. Yeah. I can't be in 36 states of Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's right. But again, it's just choice. It's their choice of word. But they are not recognized. It's not like it's recognized. No, they just choose to call it government. That's their own problem. You can call your cat anything, but the truth is that they're only working within their office. I don't want to really make a fuss about that, to be honest, because I don't see the big deal about it.
But Dr. Ramambi is taking it very, very seriously. See, these people, they're up to mischief, up to no good.
The government in place, I don't think they are so irresponsible. They are going to allow anyone to derail the system just simply because people call different names of what they choose to call themselves. I'm going to pour, I will
emphasize that for now.
To be honest, I really don't want to worry about it. But personally, I think that when it comes to Labour Party, they're actually suffering from their, I know my brother may not like it, but they're suffering from their own indiscipline and their success. They are too difficult.
Their own indiscipline
and their success.
And the success within the Labour Party.
Within the Labour Party and within the Nigerian political system. Before now, they are not that, successful if they want to agree to that. But now, they've got a governor and some other houses of assembly people, So that's equitable to some level of success. However, there have been a lot of indiscipline within the party. And like he admitted, he said it at the beginning, when you set aside your own processes.
Your own processes,
This is
your
what
rules.
end up coming up, you
Well,
know. So, but it's just what it is.
It is what it
I
is.
really wish them to be able to deal with it so that it becomes better for all of them. That's what I would
Reverend
say.
Dominic, for the second time, good morning to you, sir. Can you hear us?
I can hear you now, Ireti, for keeping me. Good
Thank
morning.
God. Okay. Please go ahead. Good morning to you, sir. Go ahead, Reverend.
Ireti, I've said this last year or after the election of 2023, that the only election in Nigeria that's well contested for the first time in the history since 1999 was 2023 election. I've said it before. But Ireti, I say that to say this. I want to ask your guest, Dr. Arabambi, can he listen to himself? Well, at times when my friend George talks, I laugh because I've not joined politics before in Nigeria. I've been an activist. I've been a politician. I know how politicians behave. Arabambi is talking like a typical politician. Arabambi, do you listen to yourself? You want people to vote Labour Party to take over government in Nigeria, and that kind of party you are painting this light. I'm thinking as a patriot of Nigeria. Yes, there's a challenge, both in APC, both in PDP, both in Labour Party. There's a challenge because the different politicians in Nigeria or different ideology in Nigeria exist in our minds. The whole politicians of Nigeria are one. All politicians in Nigeria, or most of politicians in Nigeria are one. Are one in saying they want power. What they want you to do, we don't know. But
Well, when you say all politicians, oh, so sorry that we lost you. I don't believe that all politicians in Nigeria are one. What we have heard said consistently is that most of them do not have a distinct and unique ideology. And to that extent, they have said, commentators have said that we haven't graduated to that
I'm
stage
going
yet.
to take exception to what the man that just went away said.
Reverend Dominic.
Reverend Dominic. So he is teaching me to lie about the implosion in our party so that some people can successfully now wage war against Nigeria, and our children, our wife, our parents can now be killed just because we wanted somebody to be president. I am still insisting. He is saying I'm a typical politician. For God's sake, I am also a businessman. Don't let anybody deceive you. I am only coming out to tell the truth. If he has interest, if he has a private jet that he can take to escape when there is a problem I do not have, and all of my children in Nigeria. So I am saying one fact, that in the 2023 election, I can stand up here to go and bring you the CTC so voluminous that I intentionally wrote to the court to give me, and they gave it to me, where we discovered that, oh, definitely this was the reason why we lost. But can't the presidential candidate come back to Nigeria that is very sorry, this is our mistake? Party told me that claim is stepped down. But notice that also knew about this. Why are we lying against the judiciary? Why are we lying against INEC? Is it INEC that made Labour Party to produce only 134,874 polling unit agents and 4,859 coalition agents, when APC produced 176,223 polling unit agents and 9,581 coalition agents? It is a shame on any Nigerian to be telling me we are seated that, oh, we are supposed to cover up those criminal activities. I will not sit down and cover it up, because when it comes to war, all of us are going to suffer for it.
We won't even go to war.
We are opposed
by the grace of God.
Shadow government. We are opposed to any political insurrection. We are only for peace. Let us go and challenge President Tinubu in 2027.
All right, sir.
That is what we believe in Labour Party. Let us go to the vote. Let us go to the poll.
Okay, Sonny was saying something as you were speaking.
Concerning let's put this right, okay? It won't be fair even on INEC listening to us today and thinking that the only time you can win election in Nigeria is if when you have polling agent. It is not, it's a privilege by the laws of the Federal Republic. That is the Electoral Act 2022. Now the question is this: you don't need to necessarily put a party agent in a polling unit. And there was a time we did that as a political party. In Anambra State, the last election that brought in Professor Soludo, I told our candidate in Anambra, we're not putting any polling unit. Let's see if INEC they're not going to give us our vote. We got our vote. Okay. So the point here is this. Because a political party did not have all polling agents in all polling units, we shouldn't ascribe that to mean that you have to lose election. I don't think INEC is going to subscribe to that either. Okay. So I just felt I need to correct that. And of course, again, about, you see, the party management issue in our country, that is the problem. And how does even ideology evolve if people don't know how the leadership of the party reason? Leadership
this is relating to what Reverend Dominic was saying, that all politicians in Nigeria are one.
It can be excused if he says that, because that is what many people know. But with time, what we are saying is, it's just like when they told me that, oh, somebody has joined APC. You know what I told the reporter? I said, let everybody join. Let even Atiku join APC. Let Obi join APC. And so that we, upcoming and young politicians, people can see us in our life and we'll be more focused. To be honest with you,
because your party, the name of your party is because of our tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, and that's why we chose to be organic in the way we evolve. It's not some of these challenges that Labour Party is having. We were encountered by, we knew beforehand that this type of thing will happen. As far back as 2021, people got in touch with us. They wanted the same scenario so that, okay, come. They were even bold enough. We want to buy your party. To be honest, they were bold enough, but because we felt that, look, this is the way we want to evolve. And so you won't blame Mr. Dominic, Reverend Dominic, for saying the way he's saying, because that is what people have seen. And until the likes of us get into the scene and start saying that, look, this is the way it is. I will give you an example. On that day, when collation was going on in Abuja, I wasn't at the stadium, what do you call it, international conference, where the collation was going on. And this rancor was going on. And we had our representative there, who was put on the spot to say, oh, are you also going to walk out? People thought I had told him, but he knew the decision I would make at that point in time. And that's what they call, and I was so emotional when I was woken up from sleep by people calling me and said, oh, look at what Kabiru did. And this is the way ideology is formed. Ideology is formed when leaders present themselves the way they want to be addressed, the way they want. And consistently. So. And the people who works with you, they will see your reasoning. They are going to be able to make right decision and right call where it matters most.
Let me bring in Elder David. We're short of time, but we'd like to hear from Elder David. Good morning to you, sir. Can you hear us? Well, it's not going to work. If Elder David can't hear us, something is a bit wrong with the lines this morning, but Elder David has called in. Dr. Abambi, is there no hope at all for rapprochement between, the members of Labour Party? Whether it's known as Nenadi Usman faction, whether it is Julius Abure faction, all of this is not helping the party. Is there any, or you've completely written that off, that no, there's no such chance?
Is it like I said, all of them will be expelled in our convention.
Oh dear. Well, that answers the question.
Yes,
you think that all of them will be expelled in the convention?
Yeah, they will be expelled. We don't want such characters. But let me quickly, make some comment about what my brother said about agents. You see, paragraph 4, 5, and 6 of the...
Make it brief, sir. Make it brief, sir, because we're in the dying minutes of the program.
Yes, you see, paragraph 4, 5, 6 of the first schedule of the Electoral Act describe electoral petition as follows. Part of what they said was that you have to have polling agent to write your result. To collect your result. So that when there is any change in like what happened in Kogi, where that woman was able to prove her case that, oh, the result I have is different from the one they brought to court, the INEC brought to court. INEC was defeated, and that woman is not a senator. That's Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. She's a senator today. So
you could have mentioned her name from the beginning.
INEC cannot be at fault. It was what the Constitution says. What we can do is that if there are going to be an amendment to Electoral Act, it's going to be an equivalent task for you and I. Because I know that when we even went to that court, we did not attach any of those, documents to the petition we submitted. And the electoral is very straightforward that all your document must be filed within 21 days. Within 21 days of the announcement.
Dr. Arabambi, we've run out of time. I thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, that, but all of them, they will be expelled from our
party. When is the convention?
No, that is what we are planning now. We are planning the convention solely to expel them. That's the convention we want to do. Solely to expel Peter Obi, all of them. Let them go back to where they're coming from.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to have to leave it here. It's a very tough note on which we're ending it, but we're hearing from you, and I want to thank you very much for making your time available for us this morning. I also want to thank Sonny. Sonny, I think fittingly the last word should be with Labour Party on this whole matter.
Yeah.
Because
I wish them well.
Indeed. I'm sure all our viewers, the same thing. We wish them well. They went and introduced the whole subject of what is this Patutomi's affair?
Shadow cabinet.